the problem perhaps how ZANU-PF in general has conducted itself, using state resources earmarked for all Zimbabweans to sustain the party itself abusing state resources in general, and that is why they fight?
I think that there are serious questions such as the one you are raising that need to be asked.
And it was under President Mugabe's watch.
Well, it was under Emerson Mnangagwa. You know, let us not play this simple game of saying it was under Mugabe and now we have a different government, different from Mugabe's government, when in fact the instigators and enforcers and the main players over a 37-year period are these, especially Emerson Mnangagwa. Emerson Mnangagwa cannot convince the world that he is different from President Mugabe. It is going to be the worst act of treachery, the worst that the region has ever seen, the liberation movement has ever seen.
But he's currently changing policies.
No, he's not. No, he has not changed any policies. He has slogans and anecdotes that are cynical, that are designed to placate the Western world, to make him appear that he is very different.
Killed ZANU-PF, and Emerson has successfully buried the party we knew. Mm-hmm. So we're talking really of a situation in which one cannot expect Chiwenga, whoever takes over, to run the country with ZANU-PF. That's clear. What would be the possible scenario if Chiwenga were to take over?
Look, ZANU-PF has got pillars, and ZANU-PF has got an ideology. ZANU-PF has got that ideological background together with ZAPU, ZANLA and ZIPRA. So these are foundational pillars that are existing in isolation to the practice that we have today. And what we thought would happen when Mnangagwa came in, everybody was talking of a reformed ZANU-PF. Renewal and reform were the two words being thrown around. And this is the same thing that would happen if Chiwenga somehow found himself in charge. It is the question of looking at what he preaches within his speeches now, what the blood that was shed for, the rivers of blood, what people sacrificed for, how these youths left school and jobs and everything. What he's talking about is the foundational pillars of the vision, the aspirations of the liberation struggle legacy. So he knows these things. And the question is, we are in another generation. And the people that fought that war in their 70s and in their 80s and so on, he has to work with the word renewal. He has to work with the word reform. And I've talked to some of the people in his camp. This is the question of how are we going to get the party reformed or renewed into an entity that is sustainable for the betterment of the people. That is what he has to do. So what Mnangagwa did is he knew that he was going to need Jacob Mdenda. He knew he was going to need Patrick Chinamasa. He knew he was going to need Obet Mpofu. He knew all the people that helped him to get into there because he knew all this. He put up this structure where he got all these oligarchs, Kudata Gure, giving them serious, huge salaries at the party. So he says, I'm going to fool these people and come up with what looks like a younger generation in terms of like the executive and government. I'm going to have younger ones, but these people cannot retire because I will need them politically. So they were all packed at ZANU-PF headquarters, and for the wrong reasons. We now have Mudenda back in parliament without an election to spearhead this nonsense about the 2030, and then Chinamasa is there to back up and all these other people. So this is the temptation. This is what Chiwenga would have to know, that people that have served their term have to go, and he would have to renew as Mnangagwa promised to do and work genuinely, because when you then compromise the young that you are working with, like Mnangagwa did, by by surrounding themselves with political power and with all these money bags, and then create a system that is all performance, that is all theater. Theater development, theater this, when the reality is just looting and looting, then you cannot go anywhere. So, like any other leader, it's not about who is there that he is going to work with. It is about what principle is he going to adhere to, and people who come to help him. So ZANU-PF needs restructuring, needs a renewal, needs a reformation, and this is where Chiwenga or anybody else would start from, to say, okay, elections have got to be free and fair in this country. Accountability institutions have got to have their independence in this country. Are we going to have a proper chairs? I was talking about Zach a lot. Is that independence going to be granted up? Going people to stand aside and allow Zach to do its work? The Auditor General, for example, when he right now the Auditor General is allowed for in some cases to tell us exactly what happened, egregious criminal activities, and now nobody does anything about it. It just comes out. This is what happened, and the Auditor General found this. They cannot account for 2 billion out of 10 billion. They cannot account for this, and nothing happens. So the question is, will Chiwenga allow these institutions to do the beautiful laws that she has talked about, that we have some of the most powerfully written laws in the land, but they're just not implemented? This is the real challenge. So I have no problem with the people but it is up to him who is going to.
Those kuitika munyika medu amuna kugadzikana. Isusu sekurugadzonzi media tiri kupa kutsvagira nyaya atina chatinowedzera kana kutapudza. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching our videos. I am signing out.